So I believe there's an album dropping on November 28th. That is
November 28th.
Let's
Yes, sir.
get into
Yes,
it.
sir.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So November 28th, dropping my debut album, Soul Food. 3 years in the making.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. I've been postponing it. So the first time I brought up the idea, it's always been the date for dropping in November 28th, which is Thanksgiving back home in the States. And so for me, it was just basically like dropping it on a day where it kind of makes sense with the title Soul Food. And then for me personally, like that date as well as Christmas, that day where all my family get together and everybody makes good food, that soul food with substance, food with, what I'm saying, brings family together. And it kind of it also correlates with the album when I'm talking about my life experiences and just, bringing my family dynamics into the album as well. So, yeah, but when I announced it, I always just postponed it because I just felt like it wasn't right. And 3 years later, here we are. This is the perfect time.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Cameron, welcome to Mitchell Report Unleashed podcast.
Respect. Thank you for having me.
It's long overdue.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
For sure.
I've not. So quick disclaimer, y'all. I'm going to be honest. Because I've been so tardy with this man. I've been wanting to come to his shows.
Yep.
And always something comes up.
Yeah.
But I said I'm going to make it up to him.
Yeah.
Said the podcast.
Yep.
And I feel like this is probably the better way to get that
for
conversation.
Yep.
And things like that. So when you speak to, I didn't even know you were American.
Yep.
To be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatnot. But speak to growing up in America and then coming over here to this side, man.
Yeah, for sure. So the part where I'm from California, Northern California specifically. It's a little bit like 6 to 8 hour drive from LA, the Bay Area specifically.
Yeah, area.
Yeah. Oakland, San Francisco, that area. And so that's where I grew up most of my life. That's all I ever really knew was the Bay. And it just really wasn't up until, my early adulthood is when I was able to branch out and see something different other than, just California and just that little bubble I was in. I've been in little states here and there performing when I was younger and stuff with my dad. But, California was all I really knew. And then I moved up here 2018. Yep, 2018
Love that.
when I moved to Canada. Yep.
So how do you love it? Do you miss America or do you like it here more? Because there's difference. There's a lot going on right now. We're not going to make it political, but there's a lot going on.
For sure. Yeah, I don't even get into politics. I stay away from that.
Yeah.
My politics is just family.
I like that.
That's what I tell people. But
I like that.
It was definitely different cultural wise. Just here is just a big melting pot. Back home in California specifically, I don't really have that. I've been to like New York where they have a good melting pot. Miami, I understand they got a big melting pot. But specifically California, it's not really too much of that. The only immigrants really is just a lot of Asians and Mexican people. So, but moving here, man, it was definitely a culture shock. The weather, of course, is different. You know what I'm saying? So that's
because it don't snow in California.
It don't snow in California. Nah. That's pretty much the difference. And then other than that, it just took some couple time to adapt to. I didn't really know nobody out here, so just trying to find those ways of how to meet new people, meet the connections, and that just all came with time. But it was a little uncomfortable, but I made my situation the best I could, and now I'm in a comfortable position now.
I like that.
And I've been out here since 2018. We heading into 2025, so Canada's my home now.
I like that. I like that. I like
now.
that. So let's talk about your sound because I saw the new video that you dropped,
Yep.
and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about your sound. What's your sound? How would you say your sound is to the audience?
Yeah. So I just go back to the roots of what I just grew up on. So my dad plays a guitar. He also plays the drums. He was in a band. A lot of my upbringing is funkadelic.
Okay.
Of course, a lot of West Coast influence with the rap. Tupac, Dr. Dre, and all that. But mainly, man, my dad, he was in a band, so a lot of it is like just a lot of funkadelic. Also, like just a lot of soul, R&B, Erykah Badu. A lot of great artists like Outkast, Eminem. I got a lot of Southern draw too, as well, and a lot of Southern influence. So really, man, my influence comes from everywhere. My older brother and older sister as well, they went through like a punk rock phase and stuff. So I grew up listening to not even just hip hop, soul, R&B, but a lot of other music as well. So I kind of, as growing up, just listening to all these different type of genres, I just basically took what I love from each genre and each artist and basically developed it into my sound. And so you could kind of just say it's like a more of a conscious rap, but also, really just it got a message behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't just say my style is one style because I just do so many styles. I grew up just experimenting with so much stuff. But the main purpose behind my music for sure is just sending a message. Making sure that I write something that everybody could relate to. Making sure that whatever I speak is with substance and it's my story. It's a real story. I'm never gonna say something that isn't feel real to me, and it doesn't sit right with my goals and my beliefs. So yeah, just my sound is just very prolific. It's very refreshing, and it's very relatable. Yeah.
So you speak about this delay, right? You keep pushing it back and pushing it back. Was that because of just like creative? You wanted to see what more could be happening creatively?
Yeah, it was like, creatively, it was just more like I felt like it wasn't, I had like the track list that I thought I was going to do for the tape at the first year. And I sat back and listened to it, and it just didn't feel right. So creatively, I just wanted to give more. I didn't feel like it was
Yo, guys, what's going on? I appreciate you. Thank you. Turn on all bell notifications, subscribe, like, and comment to the podcast. It's the best way to stay up to date. And hey, it helps us gain the clarity and boost ourselves into that algorithm. We appreciate the support each and every day, each and every week. Let's keep on going to keep on growing. Peace.
enough. And so I just sat with so many songs throughout the years. I was also, of course, in 3 years, I was going through a lot of personal changes and stuff, a lot of family issues. And I just felt like I wanted to tackle more of my life into this project. If I would have dropped it a year ago, I don't feel like it would have been as personal, as creative. And so now I was at the point where, like, within those 3 years, so much has happened that I now have actually something more to talk about and something that is more relatable to the people. Mental health, substance abuse, drug abuse within the family, sex abuse within the family. And it was just so much more to my story that I felt that was left unwritten that is now finally in full.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is about to be a movie now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a movie.
Yeah, a short film's coming with it too.
Okay. So when's that going to be dropping maybe?
Yeah, that's on Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Damn, this man's giving us all the vibes.
Yeah.
All right. See?
Right, yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
So what can everybody expect with this album?
Yeah, definitely expect 100% of me. It's some good moments as far as fun moments in there, fun songs, hyped up songs, but there's a lot of songs on there as well that comes from a dark, deep place. But it's not as far as like I'm just talking about a lot of depression and just everything that I've dealt with as a man and growing up as a kid, and just what my household was, a lot of toxicity in my household. But it ends off with me overcoming all that. You know what I'm saying? So even though that I've been through certain situations, I came out of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want the listeners to hear is like, okay, I've been through that similar situation. Here's someone who's walked the similar life as me, but they overcome that. Every day we wake up, it's an opportunity to make a change. And so you can, like I said, you can expect my story, a story that's going to relate to this person, to the next person. And then, just authenticity. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Everything's authentic. Everything's my story. Everything's real. No sugarcoating nothing either. I'm not holding back anything. I actually had like a couple of phone calls with family members like, is this cool if I say certain things? Like, because I am talking about other people's life as well, but it's also coming from my experience. But I also want to make sure the people that I'm talking about, they're comfortable with that situation too. And so there's also certain things where I just didn't mention names, but just certain situations just because of that.
Protecting.
And I'm very big on just like the family aspect. that's just been my movement and my push from the jump. So yeah, it's just a lot of like just family oriented situations.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And how many tracks on this album?
9.
9 tracks.
Yeah,
I
9
like
tracks.
that. I like that.
Short, sweet, simple.
Okay, so the run
Yep.
time, what? We thinking, what, 40, 42, 45 minutes?
Shorter than that.
Shorter than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shorter than that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
You already know I'm going to be there. So
Yeah.
is it going to be on streaming DSPs or are we going hardcore?
Oh yeah. We going everywhere, all platforms.
Okay.
My dad actually had hit me up about it the other day. He's like, when you drop it, you should do like 100 copies, hard copies or something, and sell them at a certain price. And
Like Nipsey.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And just
Crenshaw,
do
that's
like
what he did, yeah.
Do like the first 100 people. That's just what they get. Sign it. Send them a couple,
I'm there.
some personal notes to
Yeah,
thank you and
I'm
shit.
there.
So, yeah, so he definitely brought that idea up to me. So I'm probably gonna go that route as well. After everything's packaged up and it's ever delivered on DSPs and stuff. But definitely gonna, after it catches motion and I drop it and continue to put out the singles in there and the music videos. Definitely gonna go that route as well.
I love
hard
that.
copies.
I love that. You do a lot. You do a lot. Your dad. You going to school.
Yep.
Right, I saw the post, and you box. We're gonna get into the boxing.
Yeah.
I see you on your southpaw, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, speak about that balance between music.
Yeah.
You have all those balls that you got to juggle. A lot of folks don't know that.
Yep.
Podcasting, I juggle. I still work a 40-hour work week. This and that is why I work from home. It is what it needs to be.
Yeah.
But I still put the time and the energy into it.
For
So
sure.
speak to it from your point of view, like everything you got to do.
Yeah, for the music, I feel like everything besides the music is what fuels the music. Just going through the life experience of being a dad, working a 9 to 5, wanting better, but going to school and building a career for myself, and just wanting more. You know what I'm saying? And then just dealing with daily life, personal life, family stuff. All that fuels the music. That's what gives me the subjects and the content to put out what I ultimately love. And just juggling it, man, it's like, people say they don't have time for this and that, but you just got to find time for the things you want. And that's just pretty much what it is. It's like when you want something, you find the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, a lot of times the situations that you put yourself in, they got to be uncomfortable. You got to step out your comfort zone in order to make those sacrifices. So for me, that's just really what it is. And this is something for me within recent years, like just basically having this mindset of just like, putting my ducks in order for me to move on to the next level and just make certain sacrifices, lose out on sleep to work on certain things. And that way, when it does all come into play, I can actually sit back and rest because I did the work. Yeah.
You're speaking that real talk, man. A lot of folks don't know about that.
Yeah.
You have those long nights, bro. Like there's times you want to bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. This is how it is.
Yeah, it is.
Right, and that's not even editing. That's like me just brainstorming.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the next step?
For
Like
sure.
I have a vision. It's not a vision for the pod per se. Because if people actually listen to the episodes, all the episodes flow into other episodes.
Right,
There's little pieces, but you got to listen and pick up those nuggets.
Right.
But it's like even how to like do a storyboard for your next couple episodes. Got to batch record. It's like the same thing with albums. Right. You got to make sure you batch record your music, and then you got to sit down with a team or by yourself or whoever.
Right.
How is the flow of this gonna look?
Yeah.
And a lot of folks don't know that.
Yeah,
They just sit here and just think, oh, you just turn on a camera, you turn on the microphone, and you speak, and then that's it.
Yeah.
No.
It's not that.
There's editing.
Yeah.
There's design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just little episodes that you do that there may be something that somebody said, and you have to maybe tweak it out. You know what I mean? Just because it's how it is. So it's like it's work, people. It's work.
It is. It's like for me too. I'm wearing all hats, so it's like I'm editing my videos. Like I'm blessed to have like certain people who help me out with behind the scenes stuff on certain things. But for the most part, like with the videos, I'm editing. I'm propping up tripods and making content. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting down, like you said, 2, 3 in the morning. I'm writing ideas, trying to go to sleep, but an idea pops up, so you got to write it down so you don't forget it. It's just that dedication and that hunger, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I'm wearing all the hats. I'm doing the marketing. I'm doing the promotion. I'm doing, I'm the one reaching out to promoters, clubs, asking for prices. So when I book stuff, I'm I'm the one, you know, wearing all the hats at the shows. I'm the doorman, and I'm the person, you know, bringing up the artist. And then at the end of the day, I'm headlining. So it's like, and I'm selling tickets. I'm getting the tickets printed, and you know what I'm saying. So it's definitely a lot of work, but you make those choices, you make those sacrifices when this is something you want. You know what I'm saying?
Speak to that, because a lot of folks don't know. I actually have a podcast that's coming up way before this, probably in 2 weeks' time, a week and a half time, where I speak about podcasting will call your bluff, right? And people are like, podcasting it will call your bluff, but people don't know about the time and energy, the money.
Right.
We work 40 hours a week to put back into our craft. So our craft can start producing the fruits and the money.
Facts.
So then we can simply sit here and get out of the 9-to-5 grind.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like everybody's doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the thing. And like a lot of folks, they just, retire after 60, whatever, and I'm good and I'll get a pension. Some of us don't want that pension. We want that residual income.
Yeah. Facts.
You know?
Facts. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just where, you know, like I'm getting older. I got a daughter. And so, you know, it came to a point where it's like, it's not even no longer for me now. It's like I want her to have a good life growing up, and then I want her, when it's time for her to step out on her own, that her life is already set, because I brought her into this world, so I owe her that. You know what I'm saying? I owe her a life that is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't ask to be here. So, yeah, it's not even, a lot of times it's not even really for me and my satisfaction. It's really to set her up and make sure she good when
I like
the
that.
times
I like that. That's real shit, man.
Yeah.
Coming from a man.
Yeah.
Now, I heard outside, you're Mexican? I thought you were just strictly black.
Yeah. Nah. I'm my mom's Mexican and native.
Okay.
And my dad's African American.
Okay.
You know, I was just saying, talking to someone like it's unfortunate that in the States we're so far removed from our roots of where we are, especially African Americans, of like who we are, where we come from in Africa. And it sucks that, like me, I had to take a 23andMe to know where I'm from. But to answer your question, I'm Nigerian as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just so far removed, unfortunately, because due to slavery and all that other stuff, like we don't have anything to look back on or any, you know, great grandmas and stuff. Like my great grandmas and great greats are slaves. So it's like, you know,
You see, now you're speaking my tune, because that's how I actually came into podcasting.
Yeah.
Right. But I didn't stay in that pocket because I knew what that pocket was gonna end up producing.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot of success.
Yeah.
And that was on the heels of Colin Kaepernick taking the knee.
Right,
a lot of folks don't know that, right?
Yeah.
But I saw where I was working in a gym industry. I still was bringing this up because it's a big part of the life, you know, and the owner, still the owner at that gym, right, goes, "Oh, you're a black man in Canada. You shouldn't be speaking about all this stuff." And I'm like, well, wait, in 2020, we're out in the streets with George Floyd.
Yeah.
Like, wake it the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And stuff like that. So I hear what you're saying about we're divided. We are divided. Us black folks were divided.
Yeah.
There's not enough collaboration because there's this ego present that's taking over.
Yeah.
It's setting a precedent. You know what I mean? And things like that. And it's like where I think artists and creatives should be more collaborative, we're more distant, or we want to hate on the next dude because, he's coming up and he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean?
And what's messed up is we the only race that really do that too. You know
Here
what
we
I'm
go.
saying? We the only race that really do that too, and it's unfortunate. Like, and I can see it coming from both sides. Like I said, I'm half Mexican too, so you know I see immigrants, especially specifically back home from my experience. What Mexicans is, you know, they'll move here and then bring their family out here, and then next thing you know they own the corner store, and it's like you look at I look at my other side, my black folks, and it's like we don't own nothing.
We don't.
Yeah. So it's like it's very separated and toxic in the black community.
It's not to make it like we're poo-pooing on our community.
Nah,
it's just
not at all.
When I see, like, do you know who Marcus Brownlee is?
No, I've never
tech
heard
guy,
of
tech guy,
okay.
right? Big in the tech industry. You see what he's doing as a visible minority.
Yeah.
So when I see visible minorities now in the YouTube space or content creation space killing the game,
right,
it gives all of us hope. But we got to put those reps in. We got to put those reps in. I've talked to a plethora of people. You know, it doesn't matter how big, how small the following is.
Right,
you know what I mean? And some folks will be like, well, when you had those big guests, you could have just stayed there. But it's like, no, it's
Yeah.
not about that.
Yeah,
It's
not.
about sometimes compelling the good conversations that are gonna set a precedence.
Facts.
And I know that with this platform a lot lately. I know a lot of folks. Can I see the number? Like, a lot of people don't even know this.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, I'm gonna drop the news.
Yeah.
I got shadow banned.
Yeah.
Lost followers.
Okay.
I was at 11K.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I did a certain episode,
Huh.
mental health, talking about all this,
Yeah.
they sniped me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here
they'll
like,
they'll do that. For
and
sure.
I'm building this thing back now.
Right.
Because you know what? Those are the hits. But I see what's happening on the back end because you can't slow the fire down.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so what I want folks to hear, it doesn't matter, you know, if you're black, white, whatever you identify as, just keep going forward. It's about forward. There's a streamer, video game streamer. His name's Trabata Mitch.
Okay.
Says God first.
Okay. Yeah.
God first.
Yeah. Putting that
And
first.
now, I don't say it like that, but I know he was always there.
Right.
But he is the one that is putting us where we need to be.
Facts.
God
Yeah.
first.
He gives us these gifts.
You know?
For sure. These
Yeah,
gifts
man.
didn't come out of nowhere. For sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Because there's only certain amount of us that have certain gifts. For sure.
There you go.
Yeah,
and we all have a
yeah.
secret talent inside of ourselves.
Yeah. You just gotta find. You just gotta navigate through that and find what it is and find what works for you, and then put it forward and work towards it. For sure.
I saw a little clip of you. You were on BET, weren't you?
I was.
Let's talk about that. That's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
a long time
As
ago.
a youth, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
my homework. Don't worry.
Yeah. Respect. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, man. 16 years old. Before I was working on my dad. So from 11 to 18 years old, I was working on my dad. He was my manager. He was the person. The hats that I'm wearing now, he was that person wearing all the hats for me. I was
like
just
that.
strictly the artist. But because my dad was that person that wore all the hats for me, he's the one who taught me how to record, how to structure a song, and how to step on stage and perform. Don't just step on stage and hold the mic and stand in one place. Be in tune with the crowd. Know how to rock the crowd. I did my homework on artists like LL Cool J, what he did, MC Hammer, how they controlled the crowd, Michael Jackson. I watched all these prolific artists and how they performed, and that way that when I present myself on who I am, I don't have to say I'm a rapper or I just rap. No, I'm an artist. I create. You know what I'm saying? So, but fast forward, my dad basically was the man who, opened doors for me, stepped in the building and was like, this is my son. And a lot of times he didn't even say he was my son, because just that dynamic of, oh, this is your son, and they treat you differently. But like, no, this is my artist and this is what we do. And yeah, he just broke down certain doors for me and made opportunities work for me. And my talent as well got me through those doors. And I became real good friends with my, he's like an uncle now. His name's Big Mike. And he was working with the youth, with the talent back home in the Bay. And he was also one of those people who broke down doors, and he just had an opportunity for bringing his artists on to BET 106 in Park. And specifically, it was the Wild Out Wednesdays and the freestyle
days.
And the Freestyle Fridays. And so, I had an audition just like everybody else, even though I had those connections. I had an audition. My first audition was before I even landed on BET. A year before that, I auditioned in San Jose, California. It's in the East Bay, back home, and I didn't get it. I didn't make it, and I remember that just crushing my spirit. And I had cried after and everything, and and then my dad was like, "Man, just keep going, just keep working." So I kept working, developed my skills, just kept staying in the booth, kept working on my craft, and then about maybe like a half a year later, it was another audition in Las Vegas. Went out to Las Vegas. BET held the auditions, and Pat Charles was one of the people behind, bringing everybody, the talent, onto BET and running that whole segment of BET, Wild Out Wednesday. And I went to Las Vegas, got my chance, and then literally we started after they said I made it. We instantly started printing up flyers and just promoting and making sure we held listening parties and watch parties for when I go on the episode. And yeah, we flew out to New York. Fast forward, we flew out to New York, and I performed on BET 106 Wild Out Wednesday. And I had ended up doing so good. I ended up winning, and I did so good that they end up calling me back the next year. I went and they had a segment for like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was sponsoring it at that time. I went back for the second time, and I ended up winning again. But because it was like a competition of rounds, I ended up having to stay in New York.
Oh wow!
And that was crazy because we only thought like we was gonna stay for a week. We had planned the money plan, where we were gonna stay. It was just only for a week, but because I won, I couldn't go back home and then come back, like just money wise. So I remember my dad just stressing. At the time, I didn't really pay too much attention, but I just remember him just stressing about like, how we was gonna stay another week, but he made it happen. I think it's just the dad instinct of making sure you're doing stuff for your kid and making sure you're making things happen for my career. And the following week I went back on and performed. I ended up losing that second week, but overall, man, it was a great experience. Overall, it was an opportunity to perform in front of millions of people, millions of viewers. BET at that time was one of the big things going on, like MTV and all that stuff, VH1. So yeah, man, it was a great opportunity, especially being so young. I remember just people back home, just being proud of me, and just coming home and receiving that love and getting that experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there one artist that you'd want to, two-part question, one artist you'd want to work with, and one that you'd want to sit down and just get the game from, ask questions, learn, more about the industry and stuff like that?
Yeah. For me, it'd have to be Andre 3000.
I like that.
Yeah, Andre 3000. You'll actually hear it's a lot of influence. He's one of those artists that influenced me, along with like DMX, Tupac, Eminem, mixtape Lil Wayne, and
I like how you say mixtape Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
You said mixtape Lil Wayne. Okay, I see you.
Mixtape Lil Wayne, because that was just such an era for me. I mean, for a lot of people actually, but that was just such an era. But yeah, Andre 3000 specifically. Like I said, I just was so young when I was introduced to Outkast, and then just how different they were from everything that was out. Even in that region, that Atlanta region, they didn't sound like the Atlanta sound. They didn't sound like the Southern sound. So, and just how out of the box specifically Andre was, and different he was, and how that worked for him, and how unapologetic he was about himself. And then I would just like to pick his brain now, specifically because of like just where he's at, and with the whole music stuff, you know what I'm saying? And but yeah, just because he just had a big impact on my life, because how different he was. The flow is remarkable. His style is, so many people is influenced by it. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of thousands of people are influenced by that flow. There's artists now that are influenced still by it. So that's just that basically one of the artists that I definitely would want to sit down with.
And the thing about Andre, we never got the album.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Flute album that came out a year and a half ago, I was people were hyping that up. Like, it's flute music. I'm like, okay. If I'm at work, maybe I can listen to it. But I'm not trying to feel that. I want to hear, because I know how talented he is. Yeah. You heard him on features.
Oh, yeah.
Man, when
he's killing everybody.
You know what I mean? And I think right now it's like, the reason why I asked that is the music industry. Yeah. And it's not to poo-poo on any artist. But I feel like hip-hop right now is not where it's supposed to be.
Facts.
It's not where it's supposed to be. See, I'm listening to guys, so on my way up, I'm listening to guys like West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher. That's hip-hop for me.
Yeah, facts.
Because, but I'm a Drake guy. Don't get me wrong, I love Drake. That's my guy.
For sure. You can't deny.
You know what I mean? That's my guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's the substance?
Yeah.
Where's the
Well, November
substance?
28th, Soul Food dropping. Yeah. So that's
See what you
that's
just did there.
definitely- Yeah,
You see what you
yeah.
just did there.
November
All
28th.
right.
Yeah, I'm putting it back into that pocket.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
because I feel like there's been guys like Big Crit is one.
Big
One of my guys that
For
was
sure.
that's still friends in the gaming community. He's from Memphis. When we were gaming, he put me on the pick. I think either I put him on or he put me on.
Okay.
Big Crit.
Yeah, Big Crit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He came and did what he needed to do, but
Yeah.
then it's like there's no substance.
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of fun to have the music, and if you're in the gym, you're doing this, you hear Gunna,
sure.
you hear all this.
Yeah.
But it's like after a while, I can't consistently keep.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
So it's like we need more substance. Why do you think there's not enough substance here? You think it's this guys got comfortable?
The internet, because it's everything so accessible. I feel like it also shortened the span is so short. The attention span is so short. Everyone wants instant gratification, and you can get that through the phone. Like I know when I was growing up, you had to go to the stores to pick up the CD. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't listen to the whole album unless you went and got the album. And it's like we got so many leaks now and all this. But yeah, it's just like what's hot today won't be hot tomorrow.
It's crazy.
And it's like, yeah, and then just the demand for the music is just so like it's so high. It's it just created a space for like oversaturation. You know what I'm saying? And it's like anybody can rap now. Everybody can rap as long as you got a camera in front of you and you know how to at least be on rhythm. It's crazy how just anybody could pop. And yeah, there's just I don't feel like there's no need for substance, unfortunately. And then if there is, you know, people very far in between people who do want that substance, it's like, you know, like I said, the attention span is so short. It's like, do people really want to sit there every day and listen to what somebody got to say, tell a story?
Trust me, there's not really much. Like there's guys in the industry. If I ever sit across from them, like Fabulous is one of my guys.
Oh, Fabulous is legendary,
and Fabulous has never done a world tour.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Fab,
right.
You've got the punchlines, you got the look, you got the charisma,
you got the culture.
But
sure.
It's like,
yeah,
I feel like they just chill. They make their millions now. It's like, just come up with some stuff.
Yeah,
I'll drop a 1, 2.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, like yeah, man, it's crazy. But what's that only lasts for so long, right? Like that type of music, it's like I said, it goes back to like what's hot today won't be hot tomorrow. And if you know those artists that do have substance, that goes forever. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go back and listen to a DMX song and it still resonates to this day. It still makes you feel like, you know, it still feels good to this day. So it's like, yeah, even though it's oversaturated with artists who don't make, you know, substance music or, you know, feel good music or whatever, what is meant for you will be for you. And, you know, it's just going to always overcome and supersede the music that's not doing good.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. So let's switch directions.
Yes,
Southpaw, I see you hitting that bag.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, boxing.
What got you started in boxing, man?
Yeah, man, I guess it'll go back to like growing up, older brothers and his friends and his homies just street fighting, you know, and then of course beating me up as a younger.
This man said beating him up is crazy.
As a younger brother, you feel me? Just getting beat up, but you know, having to fight back. Like, you know, my brother telling him, if you don't hit back, I'm gonna hit you harder. And so, you know, just that brother dynamic, and then you know, just being where I'm from, you just get into fights, and it's just like, you know, just growing up fighting. That's just really much what it is. Like, if I wasn't fighting physically, unfortunately, in my household, I was fighting myself. I was fighting personal issues. I was fighting, you know, always fighting in my head. So I just feel like I was always a fighter regardless. But like, you know, as I get older, you know, you fight and you get in more trouble. And so it's just basically taking everything that I've been through as far as like street fighting and doing all that. But also like the mental thing for me, it helped me mentally as well. Being able to let out certain emotions, certain thoughts out, and putting it into a putting it out in a positive way, other than music, because music works, but you need more than one outlet, So if it's not music, it's the gym, and if it's not just lifting weights, it's hitting the bag. And so the bag was just just very therapeutic. I always loved boxing regardless, just never got into it because of music. And yeah, man, it's just something, I love sparring here and there, and I love just the dynamics of just being able to hit the bag, and just the whole art form of it is beautiful to me. Yeah.
So when you talk about boxing, so you still watch it, or?
Oh yeah, I still watch it.
Okay.
For sure.
So if you had to go like your top 5 greatest, be careful what you're doing here. 'Cause now I'm on this side.
Yeah.
I might get animated and performative in here.
Yeah.
So give me your top 5 all time. Let me sit up for this, because
Yeah.
I just feel like you're gonna just you're gonna
Nah,
upset me in here.
Nah, it's good. I mean,
It's your personal opinion, but who's your top 5?
I'm automatically got to go with the first top 2 is Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali.
Here we go.
And it's not even just because of skill set, but it's for those two, just to shorten it, Muhammad Ali is what he stood for outside of the ring.
Bang.
So that's definitely that's what I look at him as, a great fighter. Like he didn't just fight inside the ring. Look what he did outside the ring. He fought for his people. He fought for what he believed in, and didn't really care what anybody else thought about it. If you didn't agree, that's just you didn't agree. Mike Tyson, he was just a beast in there. I mean, he was knocking people up left and right. But his story is also remarkable, from where he started out as a kid, and the environment that he grew up in that made him who he was. But then as he grew up and made those changes and stepped back now, as with the age he's in now, and was able to say, no, I was a monster. I wasn't a good person. And just to see how his life turned around.
Turnaround Mike is legendary right now.
It's legendary, for
like
sure.
I don't know if you ever listened to his podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Definitely.
my goodness.
Yeah. I'm in tune with a lot with Mike Tyson. Like,
yeah.
For sure.
You got 3 more here.
Yeah.
You better be careful.
Nah.
This boy better be careful.
Yeah.
You gonna realize what media is really all about.
Now, when we want to talk about hustle, I'm gonna go with Floyd.
Okay, all right, he's good there.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm gonna have to go with Floyd for the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I don't really respect certain things what he's done in the media and the public, and his stance on certain political things. I definitely don't agree with that, and kind of thrown off with certain things about that. But his hustle, he changed the boxing game.
He did.
As far as boxers actually getting what they worth, money worth, and just that constant grind, like just how much he grind, and he was self-made. He was like one of the first black people to have his own promotion
Facts.
business, and he just took it to a whole different level. It
did.
wasn't just boxing for him. He turned
a lot
it
of
to
people don't give him the
business.
respect for that though.
Yeah, it was just a business.
Yeah.
He turned it to a business, and so I had to say Floyd for that. I have to say my next 2. Let me see. It would have to go back to like, man, I like another heavyweights. I like heavyweights. I like a lot of lightweights. Buster Douglas was a good one too.
Buster Douglas.
Was a good
You gonna
one.
put Buster Douglas in there?
Yeah.
So let me
Buster Douglas.
see. This is what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to media. How are you gonna put Tyson when you put Buster Douglas in your top 5? Because he beat Tyson?
Nah. I just like I think because it's heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? I had to throw another heavyweight in there.
Fair.
Yeah. Throw another heavyweight in there. And then from the time, like, and right now too, I'll probably have to put that 5th spot. I think this is where you probably gonna be like, what the hell? Is Javante?
Really?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Javante is okay. He's all right.
But like, there's so many. It's hard because there's so many coming up. Like, I like Jerron Boots Ennis.
He's
like
next up.
he's nice.
He's next up.
But I say Javante because it's like it's all eyes on him. He's that he's that boxer that when he got a fight coming up, all those other fights don't even really matter
Facts.
because this is the one everyone's
Facts.
paying attention to.
Yep. Facts.
But I mean, yeah, I mean it can switch at any time for that fifth spot for me, because there's so many greats before even these people. Like, you know, there's so many greats before Muhammad Ali. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's people who actually just paved the way for Muhammad Ali.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
There's people who paved the way for Mike Tyson. So, you know, it's I can't just pick one. There's so many different styles. There's so many yeah, but I had to say those top. I'll pick those top 5 for right now.
You pick those top 5?
Yeah,
That's
for
cool.
sure. But Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali is definitely gonna always be in my top 5. Yeah. Those other 3 we could kind of.
My only thing about Mike Tyson, I know I'm gonna get some bite back for this one, is that I think he's the most feared in that ring. I think if you're gonna put him top 5 most feared, yes. Boxing, I don't know, because there is so much distractions. And folks just need to go into the documentary and you can see that, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we look at like the Holyfield, this is no specific order, the Holyfield to the Buster Douglas to when he went to prison. I think if Tyson had his head on what we see now, I think it'd be a whole we'd have a whole different conversation. I think we'd have him over a lot of people because it's what he could have been. Now, by the time this comes out, we'll see what happens with, you know, him and Jake, because I'm still undecided. Like, I don't know what that's all even about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting and things like that. But I think what we're speaking here to is this. You look at these guys that we idolize. We look at these guys that were great in one specific craft and now how they used it. And, you know, a lot of folks remember Muhammad Ali for all the creative stuff he did outside of the boxing ring. Right? But then you look at guys like Floyd, and I feel like what I wanted to say here is with Floyd set he paved the way, for the marketing aspect that a lot of people now look at Conor McGregor doing with the UFC and bare knuckle and all this other stuff.
Sure.
But the thing is, I'm like, he had to learn it from somebody.
Yeah.
But nobody gives Floyd a lot of that credit.
Yeah.
They don't give him that credit. I'm like, Floyd's really the guy. He was the one who was talking smack to the fighters. Like, he was fighting Mexican fighters coming out in their Mexican gear.
Yeah. For sure. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go wrong there, you know, and stuff like that. Whatever he's doing political, I think that's neither here or there. I think that's, again, when you're between the mainstream and conservative, if they say you got to do this, you got to pick your poison.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's the livelihood that ends up coming with that as well. You know, but boxing is such a. I did the charity thing, so I appreciate boxing even more.
Right.
I watch it all the time now. So, like, I'm watching women's boxing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And there's some of them out there that I'm just like, you get in the ring with them, they're going to fold you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll fold you like an accordion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wet paper bag. One body shot and it's game over, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, even just greats like, you know, Canelo is still on top of his game. You know what I'm saying? And
he running from some people, though.
you think so?
He running for some people.
I don't know. That last fight he had, man, he
don't want to see Benavidez right now. Benavidez
Benavidez
is that guy
too.
He's a monster, right?
I don't think necessarily. I don't think he's scared. I think that because of his age, Canelo's at. I think there just has to be a right moment. I think he has to, at the age he is, he has to pick a moment.
Who he wants to go against.
Yeah.
Because Benavidez might put him away.
Right. Yeah.
Those are wars that you don't necessarily want.
Right.
Like, we look at how Bivol pieced him up in that ring. And I understand there were some things with Canelo with his hand and all that other stuff. What would that fight look like maybe now that Bivol lost to Arthur? Can't say the guy's name. They're going to troll me and whatever. But it's just like, styles make fights, and you got to pick at the right time.
Exactly.
And you see that with boxing. I think that's what
sure.
people have the biggest gripe on boxing. It's like, you waited this long to fight that guy. Well, it's just the way how it is.
That's the way it is.
You know what I mean?
What made the most sense.
You know? Like, so many people are now calling, Tank should fight Lomachenko. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to see that.
Right. Exactly.
Because Tank and Lomachenko now I think Lomachenko is going to run circles around him. If they're just boxing, if he can somehow 12 round it, Lomachenko wins off points, but I think if Tank hits him, it's game over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Tank gonna hit him.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's
exactly.
like, do we really want to see this?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you ever thinking about taking a fight anytime soon, maybe?
I was actually like gearing up to like, do I was sparring for a minute but then I just looked at other people who was actually doing the competitions, how dedicated they were and how dedicated you have to be. Like there's like that, like just how I like my focus that I am with music, that needs to be the same focus with boxing. And unfortunately, I just don't have that for boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, you know what I'm saying? I have a love for it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not as strong as it is for music. I'm not willing to go that extra step to make a career out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not there. I'm not afraid to turn down a friendly fade. You feel me? We could do a friendly fade. It's whatever, but yeah, it's a lot of dedication. Like it's the diet, it's the weighing in,
It is.
it's the early mornings of multiple days of training, and it's just unfortunate I also don't have that time. So it's
exactly. We got to put our time to other places.
Yeah.
Trust me, I learned in that 18 weeks a lot. There's a lot because it was like you got to think about work and then podcasting, and then going to the training camps and doing extra training and doing all this.
Yeah.
Where it's not making an excuse, but I realized I compromised the gym, lifting.
Right.
I compromised that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, for
because
sure.
I'm like, I'm getting all this other additional cardio in.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you look at it at the end of the day, that was a supplement that you needed.
Right.
It's that one extra step.
Yeah, exactly.
But just 24 hours in a day, and that's how life is, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I've thought about it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe come back out there.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's just that time to put in.
Yeah, it is.
Hitting the bag is cool.
Yep.
You know, doing a couple burpees, push-ups for the hour is great. Going in there sparring, but it's like to really go, I want to gear up. Let's get the nutrition on point. Because everybody loves their food.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
it takes a lot of the same energy. Like I said, the same energy, all the different hats you're wearing for the podcast. It's the same thing that you got to do for boxing.
There you go.
You got to put that same dedication into it if that's the route you want to go. Yeah.
For sure. I didn't ask you what the album there is. Any features?
Yeah. So I have a few features. I got Amanda Muvio. She's a great artist. She has like that very soulful, like a Amy Winehouse feel.
Okay.
Yeah, like Amanda Muvio. She's great. I got Donat Jackson. He's an up and coming artist out of London. He's with a group right now called For the Tribe. It's like a group of them. They're like the new upcoming Wu-Tang. It's like so many members, but they all got their different styles, and they all got different styles. But when they come together collectively, it just meshes well. My cousin came up here from California. I had some background vocals from her. I got my boy Jay Kamari he's from India. I met him through the MIA Music Industry Art Program at Fanshawe. So I got him on the outro. My mom's on it. She's doing the intro. She's doing the
okay.
Yeah, she left a voicemail, and then on the outro, I got my dad on there as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be one of them projects.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you have my hard copy. Yo.
I got you.
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna pay you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna pay you for that. No, dead ass.
Yeah,
I want that hard copy.
For sure.
And I'm obviously gonna stream it on DSPs. And,
definitely.
And promo. You know what I mean?
Respect.
Because that's what it's about. You know, because you can see the talent. Me and you, we've been in places.
Yeah,
we haven't really exchanged. This is probably the most amount of words we've exchanged.
For sure.
And I have a different perspective on you now. I'm like, this guy's actually a cool dude.
Yeah,
because you always call it off in the cut and whatever, and I'm the same way, right?
I'm just like,
but I'm like,
the same way.
we know what we know what time it is.
Yeah,
because you've always been on the radar.
Facts.
I've just been like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Organically.
Yeah, organically.
Now look,
that's the best way to do
yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
What else is coming up? What else is coming up for you?
Yeah, so right now, just fully focus on the album, of course, releasing that, making sure I make my content, and then the short film. I'm filming that actually next week with my boy Stefan Sago, a great cinematographer that I got doing a lot of my behind the scenes for my shows and stuff, and doing all the recaps. That's on my YouTube channel and all on my Instagram. So shooting with him, focusing on just the short film, getting that cooked up and ready for Christmas. And then for the next year, just drop singles, drop some music videos, and I'm already like maybe 75% done with my second album,
Okay.
which I'm dropping on my birthday, July. That album's called 1995. That album's 5 years in the making. So about next year, probably be closer to 6. But that one's a little bit more personal. When I get there, I'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about more about that. But yeah, it's just focusing on soul food, dropping my first debut album, making sure that the rollout is good. Of course, finishing school.
What are you taking to school, by the way?
Yeah, audio post production.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in the same realm of
keep it in house.
Yeah.
They don't listen, it's
Yeah.
my last guess.
Yeah.
You met him. You was outside.
Okay.
Trick said the same thing. It's the small details that people don't see and listen. Small details. You know what I mean? If I tell people this, they probably like, "Oh, you went to school for radio broadcasting." No, I didn't. You know what I did? I studied the greats.
Right.
Studied the greats.
Right.
Because I was always a sports guy. I can still talk sports.
Right.
But I choose to do more conversations that are going to be more wholesome,
For
teachable.
Sure. Yeah.
And I learned from Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Don Cherry, a couple of other like news anchors and stuff like that. Because I've always said this, and this is not a hot take, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Rogan is not the podcaster for me. Because if you even listen to Joe Rogan's style, Joe Rogan's very, I know they're gonna come for me. He's very vanilla.
Yeah.
It's very vanilla. It's a vanilla base.
For sure.
And people got to understand is that he's always been in that light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From Fear Factor to UFC to all that stuff.
Right.
I'm not knocking him. Joe Rogan, do I have a conversation? I say the exact same thing to him. You'd probably be like, yeah. You'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not an end-all be-all broadcaster.
Right.
But he has a whole community behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with this is a lot of raw, organic, just watching what other folks are doing and learning it.
Right.
And I'll tell this to anybody that wants to get into journalism or broadcasting, Stephen A. Smith, Straight Shooter. That book, get an audio book, probably that book will change your life.
Okay.
Because you'll see who he is as a person.
Right.
But you'll realize it's all performative.
Yeah.
He's on TV, it's 70% performative.
Right.
But I've seen the behind the scenes where it's a different type of camera. It's not mass production.
Right.
And the guy's actually a dope individual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Everything
Man,
you got
thanks
going
for having
on,
me,
man.
bro. Like, this is a big opportunity. Like you said, like, we've been in passing and we've been trying to connect with the shows and stuff, but that just wasn't the right time. This was the time, to make things happen.
This is the time.
That's why you don't rush nothing. You just continue to work, and then whatever is meant for you is gonna happen when it's supposed to happen.
Facts.
It's supposed to happen, and it's gonna happen on
Facts,
God's timing.
bro.
So,
Facts.
yeah.
And I'll say this right now. I'm gonna give you your flowers. I'm looking forward to this album because the last music video I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I see what he got going on.
Yeah.
I see what he got going on. I see how I'm gonna play this. This is gonna be like gym music. I believe it's gonna be gym music. And you know what? All the success to you, bro. All the praise to you, bro.
Appreciate it.
And I want to see like, I have such a, how do I say this? I'm trying to say this in a way. I want to see my folks that are in minority do well.
Yes, same.
How we started off this podcast.
Yeah.
Do well with what it is you have. We all
Facts.
have fruits. We all have gifts.
Facts.
Extra fucking cute.
Yeah.
And just drop the ego.
Yeah. Facts.
Ask
Nah, for
questions
sure.
and surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Yeah. Always be willing to learn.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts,
Yep.
man. Facts.
Yeah. So I appreciate you.
Bro,
It's all-
love. I gave you
it's
the
all-
wrong hand
it's
because I
all
can't
good. It's
knock
all
off
good.
the
It's
mic.
all
You know?
good, man.
But here's what I'll say to you.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
is this. Plug all your information.
Yeah.
Plug Instagram, social media, YouTube.
Yes, sir.
It's all going to be in the description.
Yeah.
And then when the album's dropping. Because by the time this comes out, the album's dropping in what? It'll be 3 to 5 days.
Yeah. So Soul Food, my debut album, November 28th. You know what I'm saying? That's dropping. My short film for Soul Food dropping on Christmas. And yeah, my social media, Instagram, Cameron James Official, FTF. I got all my links on there, man. Cameron James on YouTube. And yeah, everybody who checks me out, man, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell because I'm going to be dropping heavy this time around. Content is going to be pushing. I already got so much content leading up until December that's already scheduled and ready to go because content is just what it is and what it propels you into the next step. So yeah, just be ready. I'm gonna be everywhere on far as just the internet. And,
Love that.
And yeah,
Love that.
That's my next step is just
And-
continue the content.
And what I love what you said is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna close out the show.
Yeah.
I'm not taking away from the
Yeah.
conversation.
Nah, go ahead.
I'm looking in the camera. You know anybody with a YouTube channel? They're your family or your friends or acquaintances. Subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification.
Yes, sir.
You heard what Cam said.
Yes, sir.
Support your creator. Because a lot of y'all be subscribing to things that make no sense. They make no sense.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Maybe you want to learn Martha Stewart. No disrespect to her. But, like, subscribe to your friends. Like their
Facts.
stuff. Run it up in the algorithm, man.
Yeah.
Stop being hating. Don't gatekeep and stop hating. That's all I'm going to say.
Facts.
But we out.
We
Cam,
out.
I appreciate the fuck out of you.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing
Yes,
your
sir.
thing, my guy.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, dead ass.